Howdy Howdy, this is Blue Otter, and today we are going to take a tour through our Megaquarium here in Megalopolis. We're gonna come down here and zoom in so we can see. I did finish all of the research that was needed. You could see how many different how many days had passed. So we can come here and they need to put more balloons out, but that's okay because even if some of my staff is a little busy, they're still able to, the fish are getting fed, and that is what is important. I did go through and put a couple of things in while I was waiting and kind of added a few more decorations. So we'll be able to go through as we go through the entire aquarium. And there's the half and half. So this way we can go back and we can watch them all completely uninterrupted, aside from the people walking in front of us. I did add some things, and that should have been against the wall. So adding some more decorations. These were a lot of this, I had just one of a kind fish and multiple fish. I think this was my goby tank. But I only ended up with 2 in there. That's that one crab, and these are the soldier fish. I believe I have a samurai fish in here. I did go through, and to help alleviate my workers, one of the things that I did do was I went through, and any of my fish that could be fed through an auto feeder received an auto feeder. So that really meant that it probably cut out easily about half of the tank. So that was actually pretty good. We're going to over here, and I did go back and look at some of my earlier videos. I believe back here we've got the toilets that need to be cleaned. There you go. And I think I actually capped out how many employees I had working at about 40. So that's one thing. Now this is the base game. There's a rubber duck. This is the base game, so there is the opportunity that in future games that I might be able to actually get even more employees. There were a lot of things that when I was going through this base campaign that things had changed. Things that I didn't remember existing, and I actually went back and saw some older videos of people who have played, and yeah, there have been several quality of life adjustments and improvements made to this game in the time since it was first released back in 2018, which was really nice. It was a nice surprise to have continued development, which really shows the love and dedication that this developer has for the game. And it's always nice to have a game that is continued to be supported, as that's one of the things. Here's all my little Hawaiian fish. You can kind of see the back, and you can kind of see where I cleaned up a lot of stuff. We will go through a special backstage pass too. Here is the final result of all of those clownfish. I honestly really like this. This is probably one of my favorite tanks, just with how many I was able to get in there. They're all small. I did have one of the anemones or corals kept killing one of my fish, and so I ultimately had to remove said fish, or said anemone, because some of my fish kept dying, and so I finally had to remove those. There's our lionfish. I'm trying to go nice and slow so we can just kind of enjoy the aquarium, and you get to kind of see what the different aquarium looks like and what you would be able to see with it. Part of what makes this possible is the fact that I finished out all the research, which was several hours of just waiting for stuff to click through. This one actually looks really barren. I wish I'd added some rocks. This is those unicorn surgeonfish on our way to the cold water section. There's those balloons from earlier. There's our jellyfish. But everything, and then we did have several animals that passed away. They were eaten, some starved because they needed to eat, and they weren't getting fed enough. So I actually ended up, that is a huge crab. Look at that. And he's just gonna walk right over that shark. So I did end up having to replace several of the fish. These oriental butterflies were one of them. And I actually had to go through, that was when I went through and added all of these auto filters. While I was waiting for everything, I added some more decorations. So it wasn't just a, there's those clams. And there's Woofy. Why? He's just cute. I don't know why. I think they're cute. And then there's the John Dory. But having it where they could access all of them. There's our seahorses. Let's come back over here and look at the... Actually, we could probably... Is that... Yeah, you've got a... You're holding a fish. Alright. So here's several fish over here. One of these was that explorer fish that needed to have all these different decorations. It was really interesting. That's a cool trait to have, I think. To have the fish need to be stimulated. I kind of liked having the Atlantic pollock in the long tank. That seemed to fit pretty well. I've also, when I was going back, and I was talking about this when I went back and looked at an earlier video, I did notice that it was a little choppy. So this computer is really not designed to record video like this. So I'm going to be doing the best I can, and be working on saving up to get a new computer that can actually handle it. We're going to actually go into this aquarium because this guy is just, I love. I love the sea dragon. This particular leafy sea dragon, of course, one of them's clipping through the rocks, but that's okay. They are just immensely... I just think they're adorable. Anyway, we're going to come up here, and then we have... of course, this one was actually pretty interesting. I did add these extra fish, and of course, a lot of the other decoration. We had the smooth town, and I added the obelisk. This tank, I added a lot of fish to it. I tried to get as many of the cold water fish that I couldn't get elsewhere into here. This is one of our 2 tunnel tanks, and of course you see all of the extra feeders up there. And of course we do have feeders that still come by and feed because they don't do supplements or anything that requires skill. So one of the things that I had to do was I ended up assigning, and this is where some of my staff members, I ended up getting 2 staff members that I assigned that all they do is they go around to all the different tanks and all they do is fill out supplements. That's it. That's their entire job. They go from tank to tank and they fill out their supplements. And then I had some that were having more issues. So I went back and I added all of the ones that are in the bucket that are fueled by the zooplankton and the zooplankton itself. So I have 2 more staff members, and that's all they do. And that leads us to one of our last tanks. This was the last final push tank that allowed us to unlock the mega tank. And that's a cool workshop item. Do we have any more? No, they're all out. It's this little where they can grab and they can get a which they just carry whatever they're getting, the whale shark. And then we have this monstrosity of a tank that is absolutely gorgeous. I filled this to the brim with as many fish as I thought my computer could possibly render. So I'm going to just sit here and hopefully let them stream for a little bit. I did add the temple in the middle, so that they can go through. Oh, that's a cool animation I haven't seen before with the whale shark. So that is the whale shark. I do have molas. Several of these, I think the whale shark's clipping right now. We're going to come over here so we can actually see said whale shark. I only have 1 whale shark, and then I have the leatherback turtle. Several of these are mods or workshop items. The temple, I added in there, and you can see there in the back all of the auto filters that I had to use. I had to use like larger ones than just the standard, because there are so many fish in here. This tank alone has 8 people, and all they do is they are dealing with all of the animals that require special feeding, all the supplements, all the special things, in addition to all of the different requirements. So we're gonna kind of swim in here and get to swim around and see all these different fish. Here comes the turtle. I actually used to have a pet turtle that was, it was a, had 2 red-eared slider. Oh, he's clipping through the tank. We're gonna call this a clipper tank. And then I've got several fish that are all the way from like from like 1 or 2 to much bigger. The mola mola is is a huge fish. This is like the sunfish, I believe. There is actually a fish, and I know I didn't get to add the Subnautica tank in here, but there is a fish in the Below Zero sequel to Subnautica that is kind of based off of this, where it has a hole in the middle that hopefully that particular modder can go in and add additional fish. I would love for them to do the little sea monkey that they have. So here is the whale shark stuffed toy. And I've got 2 of those bins. So when you come in, you have kind of like a little net that forces you to go one way or the other. And then there are actually 2 locations for talks. So before we go down to the other tunnel, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna look at some of our sharks. So this was our bonnet sharks. So the computer's having, this is a large aquarium, so I'm letting the computer kind of render a little bit. So I'm trying to go a little bit slower. I think I left them on their lonesome, and then I clipped through the window there. This one had the eagle rays, and I actually added, I would put these into a mega tank. Now that I'm looking at them in here, I did add those Morse idols, and I think I added something else. There was, let's see, there was a scavenger that I put in here, I believe, and I don't know where he is. And I don't remember what I put in here. But then I decorated this a little bit, and I really liked these nets. These nets were kind of a cool piece. And then I've also added these wall art. This was a workshop item. This was also a workshop item from, I believe, the Abzu pack. And I was able to find my pack that, oh, we need to go back through that had those smaller rocks that they actually came with a workshop item that I had uninstalled because I didn't think I needed it, and spoiler, I did. So this is one that I just added. There's a lot of fish in here, and I wanted a really busy tank. And this was a lot of calculating of what fish is going to be able to go well in here, what fish can I not have. At one point I did have that emperor angelfish that's actually in the tang, but it kept being a problem. Everywhere I put it, it was like, I want to eat things, and I was like, no, you can't. You can't do that. And he didn't care. So I found him after about 4 tanks. I actually did find him a home. That is a pretty blue right there. I finally found him a home with the tangs where he was able to work nicely with. This is pipefish. I believe this would go well with, they want to either be housed with the sea urchins. We're going to come over here so we can actually see them. All that for one fish. There might be a second one. Yeah, there's a second one right here. There. 2 fish in there. This one was a task. I did finally find some fish that went well with the hammerhead. And then the hammerhead had an issue where he wasn't fed supplements, so I got that fixed, but by the time I got it fixed, the hammerhead had already passed. So I had to go and raise another hammerhead. So I put the hammerhead in here, and come to find out, these guys could actually eat the smaller hammerhead. So I had to go get a third hammerhead, put it into the big mega aquarium, wait till he grew up, and then put him back in here. So that is the aquarium. We didn't have anything over there. Now we... Alright, there's the groupers. And then over here we have this. This tank. It has some hermit crabs. Grouper. I believe I had to move the eel that I had in there. And then the guests would, on their way out, they would visit the gift shop. So here's the gift shop where you have food, drinks. You can get your Megaquarium bag and get orange juice. You have the pufferfish backpacks. You have CDs where you can collect one of the music available. There is these little gumball machine. And then over here, can I get... look at it before it goes away. Is it... I don't know if you can actually see the thing. This is the regular Megaquarium mug. And then over here, he just took the last one. That's okay. So then you would go out and you would leave out the door. But we have a backstage pass. So we're going to go out and actually look at some of the... Are you actually putting... No, you're not putting that out. All right. So this is what they look like. So there is the Megaquarium, there's the guidebook. And then we have stuffed animals, the balloons, and there's what the cup looks like. It is the freshwater frenzy, which is what we'll be going to next. Over on this side, we have more of the backpacks and the CDs. We have toolboxes, brooms. The back, I did go through and I redid a lot of the filtration. Everyone's got an auto feeder that can use one, and I added as much as I could. There's the jellyfish. So they do have several things, and then have all kinds of supplements because I was tired of them running out. One thing about having there's the massive cold water tank. One thing about these is that you do have to have access to them. So one of the things I did have to do, I just jumped off the side. I did have to make room for this, so I did have to back this wall out a little bit. And I had to push this wall out a little bit so that I could incorporate all these huge filters. Again, anything that could have an auto filtration, an auto feeder on it, I added an auto feeder to it. Have boxes wherever I can get them. And I had several different, so there's the door, and then there's, I believe this is the seahorse, and this is the tank that had the explorer fish in it, little Dora fish over there. I don't remember which one he is. And then so you can see where this would definitely be someplace. This was something that, this is the UV lighting that also helps to increase filtration. So it was a lot of using stuff. This is the stuff that I have 2 employees that this is all they do, is the bins like this and the zooplankton. And then I have a huge one over here that they can come over here. But if that's not enough, then they can also come over here, and you can see where they can come up here, and they have access to 1 square where they can get to the tank, but everything else is all of these different feeders, all these different color feeders. And from here we can see this, although this would actually be like a wall. And then this is the, oh, there's Crush. He's just looking at us. This tank, you can't actually, even though aesthetically I don't like it, you can't actually access these from the side, the lower levels. So people would be able to come over here and be able to get into that tank. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to actually go back here into where the mega tank is. And this is huge. Okay, so I have so much krill that I was actually running out of krill. So I had to add some more krill. So there's the orange, because I did add the orange workshop item from the developer. I did go back and look. It was an auto feeder, the oranges, and a nurse shark are the 3 workshop items that he has listed. So this is all of the different food and tool stations. And this looks like a vast array, but we'll go up here and look at that. I believe the size of the feeders I have, the larger size, might be a mod. So workers would come up here, and then they just come right over here, and they're gonna feed whatever fish they need, or they're gonna put in whatever fish, whatever specialty fish like that person there. This is the amount of equipment, and this is, if the workers will get away, this pretty much is the powerhouse of the aquarium, is back here. I do have some filtration equipment throughout the rest, but for the tropical side, the warm water side, this is the powerhouse of all the filtration and the heaters that we use. And I know somewhere I have, yeah, there it is. Okay. So then from here, this would take us back. This is where, just to give you all a frame of reference. So here is the eagle ray. So we're going to go back around here, and we have the ability, so you see more filtration equipment. They're specialized feeders, and then I was like, oh, I'll do something where they can have a filter, and I ended up putting another one that was specialized feeding. So this is that back side of the aquarium, where you've got those little lagoons that I started with, where the Belfast tank is. And comes back around here, and you can dart around. So see, this is one of the things that I like about having all of the equipment and the doors so that they are easily navigatable. Here's a good example of what I was talking with you step up where you have a step up where you can actually see the fish, and so that the workers can interact with the fish right here and they can feed them. But then the mechanics will have to go through, because these will automatically refill. But then what you have to do is if they break down, you have to have access to be able to fix them. So, and they do get colored based off of what you have them are, or what you have them as. And then this was just a little quick getaway to where there's the bathroom and the hallway. We're gonna go back over here. More equipment, more tanks. Everyone gets an auto feeder, as much as I could do as an auto feeder. And that takes us back to the beginning. There is the sink, and on this side we have our bathrooms. And then the last little area that we have, or the last 3 areas, we have 3 areas left. So this was huge, and I had about 6 filtration units here, and it took up a lot of space, and there wasn't a lot of room to walk. Now I've actually cleared this up. I added the huge mega pump, and it opens up this room quite a bit. I do have where everyone gets fed still, but part of that was just because I was struggling with how to get some arrangement. But again, everyone that could have the auto feeder had the auto feeder, and that just helped reduce what my staff needed to do. And then we have one more area over here, and then we have the area behind the Belfast tank. Is it right? Yeah, here it is. So you come back here, and this area I actually have where you can go up, you can go back down and access that filtration. But here's where the feeder is for that one. Here's the feeders for those 2. And then to be able to access this tank, I still needed to be over here. I could probably take a step back and replace that second one with a ramp. I'm gonna just jump down here. And here are some other, and then I believe this is, which tank is this? Oh, this is the secondary access for the thing. So each one of these tunnel tanks had 2 access points on either side. So workers could access them from either or. And then there's the pipefish. And then I try to include wherever I can the go back out here. I try to include wherever I can the food that the animal specifically needs. So like here, over in this tank, they need the crab. Over in this tank, they need the herring. But both tanks need the supplements. So, and I think I try to do some of them with supplements in the thing, and I don't think it really works. But that's okay. But that really helped. That helps because then when you're organizing where the fish are and which fish goes where, it helps to have, that's the pipefish. It helps to have them located where like food is alike, so that way you don't have your workers going everywhere. Here's the last little area. This was originally like all filtration equipment. Now I've been able to get food. I have a couple of toolboxes. I have a mic headset. And I was able to move this all down to, it's all either filtration equipment. And I had to go with a really large one because they just weren't getting enough mussels. The panther groupers in there, and the lionfish up here. Of course, now they're going to be a little bit more. And then on this side, we had some interesting decking, and then there is the Belfast tank that we put down the first. There's that little chocolate chip starfish. A little puffer. And you can come down here. And we're gonna go back out here. Because these guys are actually standing next to the... Of course. I come out here and then they turn away. But you can actually see them a little bit better. I did try to put another lionfish in there and it didn't work. So I just decided that those two were enough. So with that, we are going to conclude the base game for Megaquarium. And I hope you've had fun. And I look forward to working again and doing the freshwater frenzy. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good evening or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is over there.